I'd like to get your perspective on this. I've always been of the mindset where if you can dream it, you should experience it. If there's something that you want to do, that you want to experience in life, it is your, it should be your directive. It should be essential to have happen if it's something that you actually want to have happen. Um, I find that one of two things usually occurs when I interact with people. A, they don't really have high aspirations, which is kind of interesting, but also, hey, listen, if you don't really want to take over the world, then that's, your preference. But what's more concerning is the individual who did have high aspirations and then didn't feel the need to see it happen. To me, it feels tragic, and it's something that I want to address.
Yeah, there's probably a lot to explore there. I mean, I get why that would be a tragedy, because you see the person who's got the aspirations and you fall in love with their dream if you're their friend and you're watching them, architect this whole fantasy of what their life could be, and then they put that away. I don't know, thinking about you, since you're the person who kept doing stuff, I don't know. I think for a lot of folks, it's a dreaming big when you're a teen or you're in your early 20s. It's a thing to do. It's the thing to do. If you were 17 or 18 and everyone else is saying, their big lofty dreams and you had nothing, you're like, I just kind of want to die a townie. You would seem strange. So I feel like there's almost a social pressure to construct a dream, regardless of how personally motivated you are, just to fit in. But then you go through life and other things are immediately satisfying to some people, like the relationship, having a kid. Maybe they start deriving a lot of satisfaction from their day job. And it turns out that those things are satisfying enough that they're not kept up at night about how they're not achieving their dream. I bring this up just because you've gone through different stages of, adult life, having a job that now makes you comfortable in terms of day job income. You're solid, not satisfying to you. It's not remotely scratch the itch that you have your dream. So I just wonder if some people are maybe coming up with dreams and aspirations because that's what you're supposed to do as a teen, the same way you're supposed to go to a house party or get blackout drunk your freshman year of college as often as you can. Maybe it's somewhat insincere. And then also, if you are going to pursue a lofty dream, over a decade, you got to be in a position where nothing is so pleasurable short of the dream that it can distract you, which I don't know if you can make your mind that way. Like, if you can just decide, what, this relationship feels really good, really comfortable, really cozy, but I'm just not going to let myself feel that, so I can keep going towards the dream. Although, saying it out loud, I can imagine some people do that.
Well, it reminds me, a film that we mutually like and respect is Whiplash.
Oh, yeah.
And for those who haven't seen Whiplash, it's the story of a...
Cretans haven't seen it.
It's a great film. J.K. Simmons, Miles Teller. Miles Teller plays a drummer who just wants to be He wants to be a great drummer, and he is willing to sacrifice essentially everything to achieve that. Those are the stories I've always related to. I connect with that. I connect with having a vision of what you can achieve and then just walking the path and enjoying the process, enjoying the struggle, enjoying the pain, enjoying the pitfalls that occur as a result of you knowing that you are driven and will get to the destination that you have chosen for yourself. To me, there's so much fulfillment out of that.
Are you expecting, is the joy of that process, or in your head, are you expecting that the payoff will be worth all the suffering?
It has changed to the process.
The process.
I would say when I was 20, it was like I would spend so much time envisioning the payoff. I would get hard off the payoff. I'd be like fucking thinking like, chicks, fucking people just like throwing adulation at me and like going like, oh, you're so great, you're so talented, you're so wonderful, you're so amazing, and like that was my fuel. 10 years passed, and I don't know. It's a lot. The fuel is more sustainable if you don't have to like jump into the future every 5 minutes to like, wait, what am I doing this for? Like, oh, I'm doing this for the future. When's the future? 10 years from now? That's not sustainable, in my opinion. Instead, I was able to rewire my brain in a way that was like, okay, this is fun. What I'm doing, the steps that I'm implementing to get further to my goal is actually stimulating, you know? Like just having to change your brain in such a way is fun, you know? So we're kind of jumping all over the place, and that's fine. I'm happy about that. You understand that my intention is to set up a health and wellness consulting service.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, the simple service would be to like, hey, listen, I'm shredded. I got to 5% body fat. I know how to create an aesthetic appearance that is appealing to many people. If you want to get shredded and you want me to help you, contact me and we can discuss nutrition, exercise, motivation. That's simple. It's not really what I want to do. What I would like to do is activate people and get them to focus on the dreams that they were talking about in their 20s or in their early and late teens. And I want them to start focusing on those dreams again. And I want them to understand you can, given the right amount of belief and applied effort, actually accomplish the stuff that you thought was fucking cool. I guess the question I want to ask you is there any value to that? Is that something that, is this like a pipe dream of mine, or do you actually think that people would be interested in being activated in that way? Because if not, I'll just stick with the fitness. I'll stick with like focusing on people improving their bodies and their health and like all that stuff. But that's not my core desire.
So I think there's a parallel there. You know, that the people would be coming to you because they, you know, like your aesthetic. They also want to, you know, lower their body fat and all that. They're coming to you because they've struggled to achieve something, but they still want it. The inability to achieve it thus far hasn't made them give up on wanting it. I think that's kind of your same clientele with dreams and aspirations. It's somebody who hasn't achieved it yet. If they had, they wouldn't be reaching out to you. But failing at it didn't make them go through sort of the mental steps that we talked about, you know, earlier at the start of this. They didn't start failing and decide like, you know what, I didn't really want that anyway. They also haven't, I should isolate that. That's the most negative feeling you could probably have, is to just go full sour grapes. I actually never wanted that stuff anyway, and kind of lie to yourself. Mm-hmm. More positive, you know, they've gone this far, gone to you, and nothing that life has offered them so far has distracted them from the dream. So it's this same combination of there's something that they want. The inability to get it hasn't made them lose interest. And if, you know, they think that you're achieving your dreams, they might be coming to you to ask for help in achieving theirs. So I think there's value in it, because there would be that same sort of market, people who want something, who haven't succeeded at it, and want someone who can make it more realistic for them to succeed the next time they try.
Okay. So probably starting out, the core group of clientele would be reaching out for the things that I have already succeeded in, which is an aesthetic physique, which is fine. And then over time, as I continue to accomplish more, I'll be able to expand my clientele to individuals who have aspirations outside of fitness. At least that's how I'm mapping it out in my head.
I mean, if people were stringently rational, that's probably how it would work.
Yeah.
But many of us buy books, whether it's self-help or in business or in any number of things where we're buying from a consultant, somebody who may not have accomplished the things that we actually want to do, but we think they're very good at teaching us how our mind could work better. That's pretty common in business, where you look somebody up who's a famous writer in business, and they've been a consultant for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
So they haven't actually had to build a business in like almost 3 decades. They haven't even been in the economy, and it changes, decade to decade. But people feel like this person's writing helps them understand their own life more clearly. You also see this with people who cross over and say, oh, my outrageous success in one domain of life has given me tools that you can use in any domain of life. Not a comment on whether or not that's true,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I don't know that you'll actually have to build your own, say, business empire before people will come up to you and be like, oh, how did you do that?
Okay. I like it. This is good. Hey everyone, if you enjoyed that clip and you would like to see the full episode, feel free to click here, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribe button is right around here in this area. Thank you, and I will see you on the next one.